all together. I wish for His word.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
After he had fed the people, Jesus made the disciples get into a boat and precede him to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. After doing so, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When it was evening, he was there alone. Meanwhile, the boat, already a few miles offshore, was being tossed about by the waves, for the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, he came toward them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. "It is a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. At once Jesus spoke to them, "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." Peter said to him in reply, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." Peter got out of the boat and began to walk on the water toward Jesus. But when he saw how strong the wind was, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught Peter and said to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" After they got into the boat, the wind died down. Those who were in the boat did him homage, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, where do you find the Lord in your life? Saan mo ba natatagpuan ang Panginoon sa iyong buhay? Our readings this Sunday give us surprising places where we can meet the Lord. Our first reading is a famous story in the life of the prophet Elijah. He was on Mount Horeb, the mountain of the Lord, and he was waiting for the Lord to pass by. He was waiting for the Lord to come to him. And then there was strong wind. After the strong wind, there was an earthquake. After the earthquake, there was fire. And the prophet Elijah expected that the Lord would be in the strong wind, the earthquake, and the fire, because these are the very same ways that God revealed Himself to Moses. Nung nagpakilala ang Diyos kay Moises at ibinunyag ng Diyos ang kanyang sarili, ipinakita niya ang kanyang sarili kay Moises, Ginawa niya yon sa pamamagitan ng malakas na hangin, pagyanig ng lupa, at ng apoy. But in the experience of the prophet Elijah, the Lord was not in the strong wind. The Lord was not in the earthquake. The Lord was not in the fire. And then came a tiny soft voice. And Elijah hid his face because he was sure the Lord is there. My dear brothers and sisters, where do we find the Lord in our life? Often, we expect the Lord to be in the unusual and the extraordinary. We expect Him in the grand and spectacular. We expect Him in those moments when we are caught in awe and wonder. Inaasahan natin na mararanasan natin ng Panginoon sa ating buhay at dumadating ang Diyos sa ating buhay sa mga kagilagilalas, kahindik-hindik at mga dakilang bagay. Yan ang inaasahan nating pagdating ng Panginoon. Yes, God is there, but not only there. God is present when miracles happen, but God is also present in the ordinariness of our daily life. God is present in spectacular events, but God is also present in our daily routine. God is present in grand and magnificent churches, but God is also present in the simplicity of our homes, in our schools and offices, in our neighborhood. And so let us not waste our time looking for God in the unusual and the extraordinary. For God would reveal Himself through the unusual and the extraordinary only once in a while. Magpapakita ang Diyos sa mga kagilagilalas na bagay, hindi araw-araw. At huwag tayong maghintay ng mga himala. Huwag tayong maghintay ng aparisyon para sabihin natin na dumating ang Diyos sa atin. Nangyayari yan, pero paminsan-minsan lang. Let us discover God in the ordinary, in the simple, in the silence, and in the quiet. God is always there. You know, every time I would go to this chapel, I would usually use the elevators. At kapag pumapasok, ginagamit ko po, sumasakay ako sa mga elevators, lalong-lalo na kapag ako lang at saka si ate na operator ng elevator, I start a conversation with them. Minsan natanong ko po yung isa sa kanila, kamusta na ang buhay, ate? Okay lang naman, Father. Tapos tinanong ko, kamusta ang trabaho? Hindi ba boring yung ginagawa mo? At nilingon niya ako at sabi niya sa akin, boring. Inaisip ko, talaga naman sigurong boring. Ilang oras kang nasa loob ng elevator, akyat baba ang mga tao labas-pasok. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, ano ginagawa mo pag nabobore ka? Sabi niya, nagdadasal ako. Kaya nga, Father, meron ako ditong picture ni Jesus, picture ni Mama Mary. Kasi kapag nabobore na ako, magdarasal na lang ako para hindi sayang yung oras ko. Ipagdadasal ko ang pamilya ko, pagdadasal ko ang kinabukasan namin, pagdadasal ko ang kalusugan namin, para naman maging mabunga yung oras ko dito. I realized that for her, that small space of the elevator, the ordinariness of her work becomes a place of encounter with the Lord. Hindi na niya kailangang pumasok pa dito sa chapel. Kahit doon sa kanyang pinagtatrabahuhan, kahit sa boring niyang ginagawa, natatagpuan niya ang Panginoon. My dear brothers and sisters, let us look for the Lord in the ordinary, in the simple, in quiet. Kaya mamaya po, tingnan ninyo ang mukha ng inyong asawa. May panahon sa inyong buhay na yung mukhang yan very special. Hinahanap-hanap mo pa. Isang saglit mo lang na hindi makita, namimiss mo agad ang pagmumukhang yan. Pero pagkatapos ng maraming taon, ayaw mo nang makita. Pag nakita mo yung pagmumukha, wala pang sinasabi, wala pang ginagawa, naiinis ka na. Kapag nakatingin sa iyo yung asawa, sasabihin mo, ano tinitingin-tingin mo? But look at the ordinariness of your spouse's face. Because in that ordinary face, you will find the Lord. O yung mga anak, tingnan nyo rin yung mukha ng inyong mga magulang. Mga magulang, tingnan nyo yung mukha ng inyong anak. Kahit na araw-araw mong nakikita, discover God in that face. O bukas po, pagpasok natin sa trabaho o pagpasok sa eskwela, huwag mainis agad. Huwag nating sabihin, Lunes na naman, trabaho na naman, dami na namang gagawin. Sa ordinaryong ginagawa natin sa trabaho, hanapin natin ang Diyos. At tiyak, makikita natin siya. Just as the prophet Elijah felt the presence of God in the tiny soft voice, we will also discover God in the quiet, in the ordinariness of our life, because God is always there. Where will we find the Lord in our life? In the quiet. But not just in the quiet. Our readings also point us to another place where we can find the Lord, in the storm. This is the experience of the disciples as we heard in our gospel today. They were in a boat in the middle of the lake, and all of a sudden they were caught in a storm. Now remember that the disciples of Jesus, most of them were fishermen, mangingisda. At yung mga mangingisda, sanay sa buhay, sa tubig. Hindi yan basta-basta natatakot sa mga simpleng malakas na hangin o sa mga simpleng malalaking alon. Kaya kapag natakot na ang mga mangingisda, totoong delikado na ang kanilang buhay. Lulubog na sila. They are experiencing a terrible storm in their life. And they are in the danger of sinking, in the danger of dying. St. Paul in our second reading today also talks of a storm in his life. He was anguishing, he was sorrowful because his fellow Jews did not want to believe in Jesus. Nagpapahayag siya sa kanila at inaasahan nilang bilang kapwa Hudyo, makikinig sila kay Pablo. Pero ayaw nilang tanggapin ang mga turo, ang mga aral ni Jesus. That is why St. Paul says in our second reading, I have great sorrow and constant anguish in my heart. St. Paul too was experiencing a storm. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, we may not be literally caught in the middle of a storm, but I am sure each one of us has experienced a storm, the storm of life. Mga bagyo ng buhay. Storms having to do with problems in the family, problems in relationship, be it in marriage, or be it among our children, among siblings, or parents and children. We experience the storms because of the problems in work, or in school, or business, or finances, or the storms caused by health, or emotional and mental concerns, and many other storms. Marami tayong pinagdaraanan na bagyo sa ating buhay. Now, when storms of life come, our instinct is to think that God has abandoned us. Kaya kapag dumarating ang mga bagyo sa ating buhay, nanghihina ang ating pananampalataya. At tinatanong pa nga natin ng Diyos, Lord, why me? Nagsisimba naman ako tuwing linggo, nagdarasal naman ako araw-araw, mabuting tao naman ako, wala naman akong nilamangan o inagrabyado, pero bakit sa amin dumarating ang bagyong ito? Our instinct is to think that because God has abandoned me, then these storms come to my life. And when these storms come to our life, our tendency is to separate ourselves from prayer, from church, from community, from other people. Sasabihin natin, bakit pa ako magdadasal? Hindi naman pinakikinggan ng Diyos ang dasal ko. Bakit pa ako magsisimba? Sunod-sunod naman yung problemang binibigay ng Diyos sa akin. Bakit pa ako sasama sa iba? When storms come, we want just to be alone. But my dear brothers and sisters, Jesus teaches us today that it is precisely in the middle of the storm that He is closest to us. That He would even walk on the water just to save us. Kapag nasa gitna tayo ng bagyo ng buhay, napakalapit niya, lumalapit siya, kahit na lumakad pa siya sa ibabaw ng tubig. Kaya siguro natin hindi siya napapansin. Kasi sobrang lapit niya kapag may bagyo sa ating buhay. At kadalasan yung napakalapit ang una nating hindi nakikita. And just like what He told Peter, when storms come, Jesus comes to us and He invites us no longer to cling to our boats, to whatever gives us security. Jesus tells us, come, leave your boat, because that will sink. Come to me, cling to me, and I will be your security. If our boat is already sinking, there is no use to continue clinging, because we will sink with the boat. Let go of the boat and cling to Jesus, who remains floating on the water. Kapag ang bangka mo ay palubog na, bitaw na, bitaw na, kasi lulubog ka lang nakasama ng bangka. Kapag ang bangka mo ay palubog na, bitaw na, at kumapit ka doon sa nakalutang pa, doon sa lumalakad sa ibabaw ng tubig. A few years ago, still during the time of, it was still the time of the pandemic, a man who was about 40, early 40s, in his early 40s, approached me at sabi sa akin, Father, pwede ba kayo makausap? Sabi ko, oo, ano yon? Anong gusto mong sabihin? Sabi niya, gusto ko lang pong ikwento sa inyo ang nangyari sa buhay ko. Sabi niya, last year po, namatay ang asawa ko dahil sa COVID-19. At 4 months ago, yung nag-iisa kong anak na lalaki, nag-iisa kong anak, 15 years old, ay na-diagnose ng cancer of the brain. 2 weeks ago, nag-comatose na siya. At kahapon lang, nakipag-usap sa akin ng mga doktor at nagdesisyon na kaming itigil ang life support. Habang nagkukwento siya, meron nang tumatakbo sa isip ko. Sabi ko sa isip ko, alam ko ang punchline nito. Father, pwede bang humingi ng tulong? Yun ang iniisip ko. Sa bandang huli, sasabihin niya, pahingi ng tulong. But I was surprised after telling his story. He said, Father, kaya ko naman to sinasabi sa iyo dahil gusto kong magpasalamat sa Diyos. Dahil sa kabila ng mga pinagdaanan ko sa buhay ko, hindi ko naramdaman na pinabayaan ako ng Diyos. Naramdaman ko na kahit na nawalan ako ng asawa at ngayon mawawalan pa ako ng anak at magiging mag-isa na lang ako, hindi naman talaga ako mag-isa. Kasama ko ang Diyos. Tapos bubunot siya sa kanyang bulsa, envelope, inabot niya sa akin at sabi niya, Father, konting donation, isama niyo na lang po sa mga mass intentions ang asawa ko, ang anak ko, at ako na din. Medyo napahiya ako. Yung akala kong manghihingi, siya pa ang magbibigay bilang pasasalamat sa Diyos. Kahit na maraming dumaan na bagyo sa kanyang buhay, hindi niya naramdaman na pinabayaan o iniwan siya ng Diyos. Naisip ko rin po, kung ako kaya ang nasa katatayuan niya, ano kaya ang naramdaman ko? Ano kaya ang nasabi ko? Siguro tinalikuran ko na ang Diyos. But in the midst of the many storms in his life, he felt God was with him. My dear brothers and sisters, in the ordinary, in the simple, in the quiet, or even in the raging storm, Jesus is there. We only have to find Him. We only have to discover Him. And once we have found and discovered Him, we will hear Him tell us, "Take hold of yourself, it is I." Panghawakan mo yung sarili mo. Huwag kang magwawala. Huwag kang matataranta. Huwag kang mawawala ng pag-asa. Panghawakan mo ang iyong sarili. Get hold of yourself because it is I. Do not be afraid. And if we hear those assuring words from the Lord, it is I am here. Do not be afraid. Should we still be afraid?